The new Suggest All Roles feature is a new or improved version of something we've had in the system for a while. The ability to suggest a role to another member, recommend, nominate, whatever you want to call it. It's a tool to help the Toastmaster of the day or the Vice President of Education fill the agenda for an upcoming meeting. Now, there's still in the sign-up form that you know and hopefully love, there is still a suggest mode. This is meant for sending individual suggestions, so anybody in the club can nominate somebody. It's still probably going to be used more by the VPE and the Toastmaster of the day who are trying to fill their agenda. But with this, we kind of manually pick somebody who we want to nominate for a role, and we send that off. We do that one at a time, and we get a preview here of the note that they'll get by email telling them to click to take a role or click to say that they will not be able to attend, so that we know not to plan on them being there. So that's still in the system. But the Suggest All Role feature is meant to be maybe a little bit more of a brute force approach, where we're going to nominate everybody all at once for every open role. And the system is also going to try and help suggest people who haven't held a given role in a while. So it tells us right here that the current settings are to try to recommend members who have not held a given role in 3 weeks. So these are all people who have not been a speaker in 3 weeks who are going to be recommended there. But we also want to have people who have been active participants within 12 weeks. So they've attended, they've held some sort of role, and that's been recorded in the system. And you can change those parameters a little bit. You can play with that to see what's appropriate for your club. We can see that we have a few roles filled, but not very many. And so we can go down this list and just sort of vet whether these are the appropriate people to invite to take the role and to help us out. Now, anybody who has marked themselves as absent is going to be excluded from this list, and anybody who already has a role is going to be excluded from this list. But these are all folks who we would like to sign up. So I can go down this road. I can change some of these if I don't think that that's the right person, and I'd rather nominate somebody down here who maybe hasn't shown up in a while, but we'd like to get them back in the club. But other than that, I'm going to take the suggestions. And I will send this out. And we'll see a log over here so that if I come back to this screen later, I'm reminded, or maybe the VPE already did this and I'm the Toastmaster of the day, so that I know that we've already invited a bunch of people to take these roles, so that we're not pestering people, we're not inviting people multiple people to take the same role. Now, this does not lock in those roles. We haven't assigned anybody to these roles yet. We're just inviting them to take on this task. And one of the people who we invited was Abraham Lincoln, who is being invited to sign up for General Evaluator. Now, I have this set to an email address that comes to me. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to log out. So I'm no longer active in the system as me. And I'm going to click here to accept the role as Abraham Lincoln. And it's going to recognize by the email address that this is Abraham Lincoln who is trying to respond. And Abe can just click here to say, yes, please sign me up for that role. Great. Or if he didn't want to do it that way, if he wanted to take some other role, then he can go in and exit that mode and log in and sign up for something else. But the idea is, actually, we want to encourage our members to sign up well in advance so that we're not scrambling at the last minute to fill our roles. But sometimes that is the ideal, is not the reality. And so this is a way of inviting a bunch of people quickly to sign up for these roles. So if I go back to being me, I've sent out these invitations for September 20th. I can also go ahead and perhaps send them out for the following week too. And it'll be the same thing. And if we look at the drop-down list, it's going to show people who are likely suspects who've been active in the club but have not held that role in a while. Then we'll see the people who have not taken a role lately. So we're trying to avoid emphasizing those as much. And then we also have the people who already have roles showing up at the very end. So hopefully you find this helpful. Check it out and let me know. I guess we can consider this to be sort of in beta testing right now. So this is something that is there for you to try, but it's also very much open to some additional fine-tuning.